Right, welcome to Africa and Beyond Television Network. My name is Ronald Kwamakusha, and it is my pleasure being here with you. So today we need to take a look on President Nelson Chamisa's Agenda 2023 address. We need to do a review, and we are going to be guided by Comrade Ostalos Siziba's tweet, because he managed to briefly give us an insight about what President Nelson Chamisa meant in his address. My apologies, yesterday we failed to get a live feed so that we can broadcast it live here on this program, but we are going to continue with this review because it's very, very, very important. My name is Ronald Kwamakusha, and let's get started. Advocate Nelson Chamisa, when he was addressing yesterday, touched very key issues. And CCC is not an opposition political organization. It is an alternative government. It is the government in waiting, the next government of the Republic of Zimbabwe. And this year, 2023, was labeled as the year of citizens' victory, the freedom year, the restoration and the transformation year. That was how it was labeled. So, taking a look on this 2023 agenda, it is the presentation that is the first and probably the last in the existence of the Yellow Movement, because it is an alternative government, a government which is going to take over from ZANU-PF this coming election. So the task for this year should set the tone for the pathways to power. That is what is key. That is what is very, very important. So according to Comrade Ostalos Siziba, he says that the president emphasized that the fact that we are talking about the pathway to power is not just a desire to be in power. That is what is very important. It is an issue of getting in power to change things, not getting into power for the sake of just getting power. We are not targeting to just get power. We are targeting to have a new Zimbabwe, a transformational politics which will put citizens back at the center. That is key from Advocate Nelson Chamisa's address yesterday. So I apologize. I don't know what is happening on my throat here. I apologize for that. So I will continue. So taking a look on the issues which are raised, Citizens Coalition for Change is working to build organic structures to strengthen internal machinery for the election and also the selection of candidates. These are three key things which Citizens Coalition for Change is working to. They need to have clear organic structures which are coming directly from the people, not from kuti inini ndongoti todaita politician nhasi ndakutomuka ndiri ndato pamberi. No, it's an issue kuti who is who, where are you coming from, what are you doing there, what is your policy, what is your position on certain matters. That is how these structures are being developed and are being built. So the internal machinery is being strengthened, and also the selection of candidates is very, very important and key. So there is a Mugwazo. Mugwazo is being done, and Mugwazo has left political footprints all over Zimbabwe, and that is the reason why you see hakuna kusiri kutaurwa nezvachamisa. That is the reason why you see even ZANU-PF is in panic mode, and vari kufamba everywhere talking about banning CCC, talking about beating people, threatening people. It's because of Mugwazo, which is a successful project. So in terms of the vision of the Yellow Movement, CCC is looking forward to have a new Great Zimbabwe, a new republic, a new citizens' republic. It is looking for to have one people, one nation, and one vision. That is what is very important, because when we have a citizens' republic, it means citizens are on the forefront. When we have one people, it means the people of Zimbabwe are disregarding their races, their tribes, or where they come from. What is important is that we as Zimbabweans, we are one people. We will be identified as Zimbabweans, not as white Zimbabweans or black Zimbabweans or female Zimbabweans or Ndebeles or Shonas. We will be recognized as Zimbabweans. One nation, it means that we are talking about the unification of the nation itself, unification of Zimbabwe as a nation, not to have nyika inonzi kumasvingo kunoitwa zvako matebeleland, kunoitwa zvako manicaland, kunoitwa zvako or development inoitwa one side. No, we are a one nation where development should happen equitably across the nation. One vision. What is the vision? To bring Zimbabwe back onto the map, to bring Zimbabwe onto the forefront. That is what is the key from Advocate Nelson Chamisa's address. So let us talk about the mission. So the mission for Citizens for Coalition for Change is about transformation, Shanduko, Zimbabwe, and the mission is hinged on ABC. These are tasks for change. A, meaning or stands for rise or simuka. B, meaning about build and transformation. And C, change, register, and vote. So we have arise or simuka as A, and B, build and transform, and C, change, register, and vote. That is the mission. So the mission of Citizens Coalition for Change is ABC: arise, build and transform, change and register, and vote. That is the mission. And the central idea is putting citizens first and putting citizens back at the center, which means citizens must be the decision makers. Citizens must be on the forefront of each and everything which is happening in the nation of Zimbabwe. And that is also key. So taking a look on this central idea, we are looking on an election goal of 6 million votes, two-thirds majority in parliament, sweep of urban councils, majority in rural district councils. That is what is Citizens Coalition for Change is looking at. And the citizens president also took stock of the prevailing state of the economy. He admitted that the ripple effects of the Russia-Ukraine conflict and the post-COVID challenges continue to affect the global economy. Yet in Zimbabwe, many of our challenges are locally engineered. We have problems from this war, from COVID, whatever, but the most problems we have in Zimbabwe, they are engineered right directly from Zimbabwe. We are talking about nepotism, where clueless people are employed in key positions of governance. We are talking about abuse of women when they are being given jobs. We are talking about the issue of corruption, which is at the center. We are talking about the issue of smuggling, which is at the center. President Nelson Chamisa admitted that indeed we have other problems, but the economy of Zimbabwe is majorly affected by what is happening or what is transpiring within the borders of this country. And also the solution, it lies within the borders of this country. He talked about the issue of my savings, my pensions, and the cash flows, which were wiped away so many times, and people were left with nothing. People were left useless, and the thousands of youths who are graduates or who are graduating each and every year, they are just joining the battalion of unemployed persons or unemployed young people, capable people who are unemployed. So if you look on the public health, the education systems, also they are so worrying. And President Nelson Chamisa managed to touch on those issues because there is massive collapse of those service delivery systems. So Zimbabwe, if you look at the health sector, it is now surviving on donor assistance. Look at the number of donors who are chipping in to sustain the health sector. That is so wrong. Zimbabwe does have everything and can sustain itself, its economy, and all sectors, but it is relying on donations. Whilst some people are just taking away what belongs to the majority. There is an issue of ZESA where people are failing to produce equally, fairly, and enough because of failure by Zimbabwe Electricity Supply Authority to bring enough electricity into the grid to make sure that there is enough power both for industry and home domestic use. He talked about the illicit financial flows which are happening in Zimbabwe, where annually the country is losing around 1.8 billion from just illicit transactions which are happening. So, adding more, we are talking about inflation, which is running um, from around 8.1 billion in 2019 to 4.5 billion in 2023, a record of 500 and 5 is 55,456 percent increase. This is according to the AG's report that we have a lot of illicit activities happening in the nation of Zimbabwe. So, just taking a look, Kuti, if you look on the Auditor General's report, there is excess of 100 million, 102 billion national debt. So these are things which we don't expect to see happening in the nation of Zimbabwe, because continuously we are having these things happening. So people are living in extreme poverty, and you touched that. Kuti, people who were living in extreme poverty, we had 4.4 million to now 7.5 million, and inflation is everywhere. The earnings are eroded, and the people are earning nothing. So the re-dollarization also has failed, and the poverty and unemployment, the fueling of drugs and substance abuse is actually on the increase in the nation of Zimbabwe. Look at the cases of drug dealing which are happening in and around Zimbabwe. They are just increasing. Mutoriro vanhu hazvichafambi zvakanaka, vabereki vari kuchema chema. So it shows that President Nelson Chamisa is aware of these things. So he also touched the issue of human rights abuses and also oppression, which is on the rise, and cited the case of Honorable Job Sikala, who has clocked 269 days in prison without trial. That is almost a year. He's talked about ZEC and ZRP, who are actually politicizing the issue of elections in the nation of Zimbabwe. So, you can actually see that we still have a lot to do. But let us end this program by taking a look on the 5 pillars of or the roadmap to state power. So, at the core of action plan for 2023, the citizens campaign and the volunteer program is the key. So you will see that the CCC as a citizen movement will be anchored on citizenocracy, and we are calling upon citizens to act, serve, and participate. That is key, because when citizens come to act, come to serve, and come to participate, it means that each and every person is engaged, each and every person is doing his part. So the volunteer program is there, and people are being called upon to organize, to mobilize, to recruit, to register, to vote for change. That is very, very important, and that is key. Item number 2 on the agenda, the selection of candidates for 2023 election. The president called the communities to put forward competent, clean, clear candidates of integrity to stand and serve. And there is a template to manage the selection process to avoid double candidates. In 2018, we had double candidates, and this time around, everything has been sorted out. Everything is now taking shape and in the right direction. So, item number 3 on the agenda is on sealing and securing citizens' victory. So, which means that after the election, people have voted, Citizens Coalition for Change is winning. There is need to seal and to secure the citizens' victory. And there shall be a collision between ZANU-PF attempting to manipulate the election, and also the attempts from Citizens Coalition for Change, or the efforts from Citizens Coalition for Change to mobilize millions of eligible voters to overwhelm all shenanigans. So the first point is to make sure that we vote in our numbers, we vote in our millions, everybody votes. For it to be called 1 million votes, it means that there is one person who should add a one vote for it to be a million. If one person doesn't vote, you'd see that the number is reduced. So remember, kuti munhu win 50% plus one vote, and if that one vote is lacking, that person will not win. So that is key. That is key to us combating whatever which is happening in the political cycle. So once we win, once the win is sealed, there is need to defend it, because there are people who are saying chipati ichi hachife chakatonga, asina kurwa hondo afa yakatonga, munhu asina military background afa yakatonga. But those issues have been already dealt with, because who defend the vote as citizens. So we need to have election agents. We need to have peace monitors who are ready to attend to any shenanigans which are happening from polling stations throughout the country, and that is key. And the MPs are also pushing for electoral amendment bill, which is currently in parliament, and they are demanding the following demands: respecting right to vote and diaspora vote, the voters' roll, security of polling materials, security of the vote, and voter power transition mechanisms, and others. Those are the issues which are being put forward in parliament. And he also talked about the policy which is going to be launched very soon, and it is going to touch the issue of the battle plan, the winning plan, victory plan, declaration and inauguration plan, power transfer plan, leadership plan, policy plan. These are key issues which are involved in that. And the last thing here on item number 5 on the agenda is the global agenda for change. And this is an issue of organizing SADC, the region itself, the continent, and the world, to be in solidarity with Zimbabwe in terms of observing change, in terms of observing free, fair, credible elections. So this is it, Team Zimbabwe. I just decided to come with this review of what Advocate Nusun Chamisa tied yesterday, guided by what Comrade Ostalos Siziba posted right on his Twitter handle. He is part of the Citizens Coalition for Change Communications, and it's very important for us to be guided by them. So, Team Zimbabwe, Joy Mugwambi, thank you very much for coming. Tendai Satia, thank you very much for coming. And guys, you don't understand Zimbabwean politics, and that's why you are still putting your hopes on elections. Okay, we understand what is happening on the ground, Tendai. More than everybody else, we understand what is happening on the ground, and the plans are there to make sure that we take over, we bring change to the nation of Zimbabwe. It's not an issue of guesswork. It's an issue of actually planning and actually setting out a tone for change. And that is what Advocate Nelson Chamisa is actually doing. He's actually working, he's actually on the ground, making sure that everything else is put in place. We have been working. Sometimes you see us live, sometimes you don't see us live. Is because we are working both live and on the ground. That is what is very important. That is what is key in terms of doing elections, in terms of winning these elections. And what the ground is actually telling is different to what a lot of people are actually thinking. So vanhu they've developed a culture yekuti havachangomhanye pamberi vachingoti pamberi naChamisa. No, people are now mature. They know what to do. They know what is happening on the ground. They know what is happening kwavari kuvhundudzirwa and whatever. So what is happening is that the people are aware that ZANU-PF is intimidating, that ZANU-PF is ready and willing to beat them so that they secure power. So vanhu vari kuita chinonzi fungira mumwoyo rwendo rwembwa, and it will be shown musi wema-elections. And the role and the duty of Citizens Coalition for Change as the organizers is to make sure that they defend the vote. That is what is key. So they have the agenda. I've shown you. They are talking about how they are going to secure power, how they are going to defend power, and everything is in place. So Team Zimbabwe, this is it. This is just a review of what Advocate Nelson Chamisa addressed yesterday. Thank you very much for coming. My name is Ronald Wekwamakusha. Thank you very much for the support. Keep on subscribing, keep on commenting, keep on sharing these videos to as many people as possible. The time for election is up. Voter registration is beginning very, very soon. Mobile voter registration. So kwauri ikoko, check kuti mobile voter registration ninge ichiitirwa papi. From the 11th, if I'm not mistaken, to the 21st of March, voter registration, mobile voter registration inenge yatotanga. Ngatiti tomorrow or kuswera mangwana zvinenge zvatotanga. Be ready kuti unge uchiregister kuvhota kana usina kuregister kuvhota, so that unenge uchizopinda mu-election ya 2023. Kana wapotsa ipapapa, uya woenda unoregister pa-provincial offices, pa-district offices dzeZimbabwe Electoral Commission. You will still be able to register and participate in the upcoming elections. Kana proclamation isati yaitwa chete, you are able to register and actually vote per this election. So zviri kwauri iwewe kuti zvinhu zvacho zvinge zvifamba zvakanaka. My name is Ronald Wekwamakusha. Let us meet in other episodes and other broadcasts.